Hey everybody, welcome to the Crossroads where it's, oh my god, iceberg! Alright, this video from the Alaskan cruise on the Norwegian Bliss, we're going to sail down the Endicott Arm to go check out the Dawes Glacier. And when you're on a cruise ship and you start seeing big chunks of ice flow by while you're trying to eat dinner in the main dining room, it gets kind of disconcerting. The Endicott Arm is really gorgeous. There's lots of waterfalls, lots of mountain areas. The Endicott Arm was cut by the retreat of the glacier, and it's still a very active glacier. That's why it has all the big pieces of ice flow going down the arm in the water. Sometimes you cannot take this route on your cruise and they have to go on because there's so much, especially in the colder parts of the season, the Alaskan cruise season, there's so much ice that's broken off the glacier and coming down the Endicott Arm that it's too dangerous for the ships to navigate. So either you go so far but not far enough to get close enough to see the Dawes Glacier. Luckily enough, our cruise was the end of June and early July, so it was warm enough. We were able to go, as far down to see the glacier as cruise ships can. So let's kick back and enjoy the views. And here's this, and the closer you got, the more and more of the ice in the water. So I totally understood why they say earlier in the season when it's colder, when there's more of this broken ice and at different points, it's next to impossible to safely navigate this. Now this is usually the second half of your day in Juneau. Our Juneau leave time was 1:30. And we were getting to the glacier about 6 o'clock, quarter to 6 o'clock. And you can take an excursion through the ship that'll take you onto a different boat that will pull up to the boat. You will board it and then take a 5-hour trip down the Endicott Arm and then come back to the ship. It is very, very pricey. For instance, if you got the excursion through the cruise line, it said the prices start at $279 for adults and begin at $199 for children. And this is for a 5-hour trip to take you closer to the glacier. But this depends on really how close you want to get to a big piece of ice. Because there's all kinds of good viewing areas around the ship. They open up the forward area of the boat to where you can go up on it. There's also the observation deck. All the open decks. And, if you have a balcony on your room, that's a good place to watch. That's where we watched. And then what will happen is when the boat gets as far as it'll go, the captain will rotate the ship so that both sides and the front and the back can get a good view of the Dawes Glacier. And it also works because, you get down here, it's a one-way street. So you can't go through and get back out to another place. It dead ends. So the ship needs to turn around to go back out of the Endicott Arm anyway. So it's a really nice way for everybody to get to view the Dawes Glacier. The other nice thing is if you go to the front of the ship to view the Dawes Glacier, they serve complimentary hot chocolate, help keep you warm. Whenever we were going through, it wasn't too terribly cold. I sit on the balcony with my long pants and a short sleeve shirt on, and I really didn't get cold. But once again, we were there into June, early July. So depending on when you go, your dress mileage may vary. Ah, the voice of the peeping Tom neighbors. And as I said in my short about don't be that traveler, yeah, don't be the person that looks over around the wall separating the balconies. Don't be that traveler. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Situations like this is like one of the reasons why they built the observation deck on this ship. You know, a multiple story tall wall of windows at the aft of the ship. Plenty of seating, but it gets crowded fast because if you don't have a balcony, that is one of the best places to go because there's food at the observation deck, there's drink stations at the observation deck. It's enclosed, so it's warm. You're not out on any of the open decks. You're not up on the forward deck at the viewing area. You're not out on your balcony. Yeah. Look at all that stuff underneath the surface. I was probably annoying the neighbors because I think there's a couple times I probably did act like I was ringing a bell and yelling, "Iceberg!" So right here we're doing our turn. You can see the boat there making its rotation.
The one that we can see from here on the navigation screen? You're kidding me. You were looking at it.
No, I didn't see it.
And there's the daycare center on the other side of our room. So we have Peeping Toms on one side, and then we had a multi-family daycare being run on the room on the other side. Still had a good time though. Still highly recommend an Alaskan cruise. If you haven't taken one yet, but I would recommend going mid to late season. Weather's a little bit better. We lucked out. We only really had light rain to start Sitka off. The unholy wrath of Mother Nature and Juno, and then we didn't have any rain going down the Endicott Arm. Beautiful weather in Ketchikan and Icy Strait Point, and beautiful weather for our evening in Victoria, British Columbia. best friends and neighbors, the iceberg is going to take us out. And there it is in all of its icy glory, the Dawes Glacier, which looks exactly like the Mendenhall Glacier. I have found that glaciers look exactly alike. They look exactly like just big sheets of ice. But hopefully if you go on an Alaskan adventure, you'll get the chance to come down and see it. They are cool to look at, and you can say, man, I've seen some glaciers before they all melt and disappear and we're all underwater. Absolutely beautiful place. Hopefully if you go on an Alaskan cruise, the weather will cooperate, and either whether you go to Dawes Glacier or one of the other glaciers on a different cruise line or a different itinerary, I'm going to leave you with this floating iceberg saying, be careful for these in life so they don't sink you. Thanks for stopping by the Crossroads, and I'll see you out on your travels. Goodbye.